everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Studio Pilates. My name's Hannah and today I want to take you through a nice session for back mobility and strength. This is a really great session for if you suffer from a little bit of back pain. This is just going to help to mobilise and strengthen up your muscles to support and sustain a really healthy back. I hope you find it really beneficial. Swan dive again is really good for that upper back, and we're going to take our back into extension. So we do a lot of things that bring us forward in real life, typing, picking up things off the floor, driving the car. So what I want you to do is really think about opening up through that chest and using those upper back muscles so that they pull back your shoulders and make you broader, but in a good way. So we're going to come down onto our fronts. First thing you need to think about is tucking those toes in so your glutes are off. Getting nice and comfortable, core engaged, so you're not pushing your belly into the floor. You're going to bring your arms out into your swan dive position. So your elbow is in front of your shoulder and your eye line remains down at the floor. If you want to, you can have something under your forehead, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Drawing those shoulder blades down your back, so make sure they're not starting up near your ears. We're going to take an inhale here. Then we're going to exhale. And you're going to gently lift your head, neck and shoulders off the mat. So the work is coming through that upper back. There should be no tension in that lower back, and you're not pushing down on your hands, so you shouldn't feel like all the weight is in your arms. That's why your elbow is in front of your shoulder. You're going to hold it at the top here for an inhale. And then exhale. Slowly, with control, bring yourself back down to the mat. Core engaged, pelvic floor on inhaling at the bottom. Exhale, back up, holding it there, sliding those shoulder blades down your back, hold. And then exhale, back to the floor. We're going to do 3 more like this. So holding at the bottom for an inhale. Exhale, lifting, sliding those shoulder blades down your back. Remember, keep your neck nice and long, hold, and exhale, back to the mat. Final 2 here, core engaged, holding at the top, and then exhale, back down to the mat. Okay, so we're now going to add in a leg and take our swan dive up a little bit higher, so more into like a cobra. If this isn't quite right for you, any discomfort on that lower back, just go back to what we've been doing. And if you find it's just a little bit tricky today, just doesn't feel right, then again, just go back to what we've just been doing instead. So for your higher cobra, you're going to bring your arms back so your elbows now more in line with your shoulders. You're still not pushing down on your arms, but you're going to need to think about peeling your arms off, starting with your elbow, so you are using your arms a little bit more in this one. So holding at the bottom for an inhale. Exhale, use that upper back and then gently start to peel your elbows off the floor and just come to where you feel comfortable. So you might be all the way up here, or you might be a little bit lower. Just have it where you feel comfy. Then what we're going to do is, as you go down, you're going to lift your right leg off the floor. Stretch out through that leg, hold at the bottom for an inhale, and then exhale. Slowly bring yourself back up and lower that leg back down. Now we're going to go and lift the left leg, so holding at the top for an inhale. Exhale. Lift and stretch out through that left leg, holding at the bottom for another inhale. And exhale. Head, neck and shoulders come off. Gently bringing yourself up, holding at the top for an inhale. Exhale. Slowly, with control, bringing yourself back down to the mat, lifting that leg up, hold for an inhale. Exhale. Head, neck and shoulders off the mat, leg back down, hold for an inhale. Exhale. Gently back to the floor, hold at the bottom for an inhale. And exhale. back up. So we're going to do 2 more on each leg. So holding at the top for an inhale and exhale. Gently back to the ground. Hold, exhale. Keep thinking belly button to spine. Core engaged, pelvic floor on, keeping the movement nice and fluid. So you're just almost rocking, but in a gentle, controlled way. Really stretching out through that leg. So final one on each side now. And final one. So this time as you lower, you're going to leave your legs on the floor. Okay. So we're now going to stretch out through that chest. So you're going to leave your right arm in your swan dive position, so elbow just in front of your shoulder. You're going to bring your left hand next to your left shoulder, look towards the left. Bring your feet off the floor and together, and then you're going to take your feet over to the right hand side, stretching out through the right hand side of your chest. Hold it there. And then coming back to the middle, swapping hands, so right hand next to your right shoulder, left arm back into your swan dive, look to the right, take your feet to the left and hold it there. If you can't feel the stretch or you need a bit more, just apply a little bit of pressure through your hand. And coming back to the middle, feet to the floor, hands under your shoulders, push yourself back, and we're going to come into a wide knee child's pose. So just really sitting down in between your knees. This is really lovely just to stretch out through your back and hips. So we're going to hold it here for 30 seconds, but you could hold it for a bit longer if you wanted to. Okay, and then coming gently back up to sitting. Now for our next exercise, you're going to need either a Pilates mini ball or a cushion would also do the same job. So we're going to do a cushion squeeze or a ball squeeze if you've got a ball instead. So you're coming down onto your back, thinking about your Pilates setup. So feet, knees and hips are in a line, and then you're going to just place the ball or the cushion between your knees, and then again just reassess where your feet are. Make sure that they're not now too far apart, or your knees aren't being ballooned out by the cushion. The cushion or ball needs to kind of fit between your knees, and your knees still need to be able to stay in alignment. You're going to draw your ribs down towards your hips, keep that rectus abdominis on, pelvic floor on, belly button to spine. Little gap stays under your low back, so you're keeping your spine in its natural curves. Thinking about your head, so make sure you're not tilting and almost looking behind you, or you're not tucking your chin in towards your chest. Think about having your ears just naturally above the floor. Chin is lifted so you can see directly what is on your ceiling. Core engaged, pelvic floor on, arms just gently resting by your side. So really think about releasing any tension from that upper body. If you find that you want to kind of grip on to the floor a bit, then just turn your palms up and you'll find it harder to kind of push your arms into the floor that way. Holding it here, I'm going to do a little squeeze onto that cushion, and at the same time I want you to really focus on that pelvic floor and core connection. So we're going to squeeze onto that cushion, feel that connection between your pelvic floor and core, and then slowly releasing it back off. And again, we're going to squeeze onto that cushion. Now, as you squeeze onto that cushion, think about your pelvic floor connection. Try not to really squeeze your glutes. Keep your pelvis in neutral and just Squeeze that pelvic floor and core as your knees kind of squeeze into the cushion and then release. So trying not to squeeze too much. It shouldn't be all glutes. You should be working that core as well. And then release. We're going to do 5 more. Squeezing on, pushing your knees into the ball. It's not kind of a 100% squeeze. It's probably about 50% of what you feel comfortable with. So you're not clenching everything. It's just a gentle squeeze. And final 3. Squeeze and hold. Think about breathing through your nose and out through your mouth. Final 2. And final 1. And then just gently taking that cushion from between your knees. And now we're going to do a leg slide. So I want you to really focus on keeping your pelvis equal on the floor, and as your leg moves away, that you don't rock from side to side. So you might want to just put your hands on your hip bones so you can focus on keeping them level. Core engaged, pelvic floor on. Just going to gently, on your next exhale, slide your leg out along the floor so your foot stays in contact with the floor for the whole journey out. Hold it here for an inhale, and then exhale, sliding that leg gently back into the middle, holding in the middle for an inhale. Think wide thoracic breathing. Exhale, push that leg back out, or the other leg out, holding for an inhale. Exhale, slide that leg back into the middle, holding in the middle for an inhale, and then exhale, sliding back out. Feel where your pelvis is. Try and keep the weight even. Don't let that weight slide off. Think about keeping even pressure on the back of your pelvis as you slide that leg out. Think breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Make sure that you're keeping that pelvis in neutral. You're not letting your back arch or your belly dome as that leg stretches out. And if you can't stretch it all the way to fully extend it, just take it to where you can keep hold of that core. That's more important. Holding it there. And then back to the center. Pelvic floor on, core engaged. We're going to do 2 more on each side, just gently stretching that leg away and then pulling it back in to the center. So this is really working deep into your abdominals. Final time on each side. And final one. Okay, so from here we're going to add in an arm. Now if this isn't quite right for you, just continue with what we've been doing. So arms are coming up into the air. Check in with your shoulders, make sure they've now not gone up to say hi to your ears. And you're going to take your opposite arm and leg away from the center, just as far as you can without losing that core connection. So if your back arches, belly domes, or you just feel like you're unstable, just reduce that range of movement. Hold it here for an inhale, and then exhale, back to the center, holding in the middle for an inhale, exhale, other side, really stretch out through that arm and leg, hold, and then exhale, back to the center, hold in the middle for an inhale, and exhale, moving that arm and leg away from the midline. Hold for an inhale, exhale, back in. Check in with your pelvis, make sure your pelvis is still in neutral. Remember, if you need to, just reduce the range of movement, that's fine. Final one on each side. Okay, then from here, giving yourself a full body stretch. Thanks for joining my back care special. I hope you really enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll see you on a mat again very soon. Bye for now.